maybe you ought to start it. So yeah, I mean, it started off, I was actually living in St. Louis, Missouri at the time, and I had a software company I was running, and we were doing some really cool mobile software. Then we got into augmented
Mm.
reality. We started working with Google on some augmented reality projects, doing 3D augmented reality navigation, where you hold up your phone and you can see a blue dot on the floor navigating you where to go inside of retail stores. And then we started working with really cool companies like Best Buy and Walgreens and Barnes and Noble, and we were doing this cool augmented reality stuff. And then they started asking us like, "Hey, we need 3D digital assets created." And we said, "Well, we don't do that, but let me try to hook you up with somebody who can." And I couldn't find any community at the time. This is back in like 2014. And I went to the team at Google and I'm like, "Hey, where do I go?" And they said, "Oh, there's this company in Singapore you might refer them to." And I'm like, "Where do I find them?" And I said, "Is there an association, an industry community for XR?" We called it, AR and VR at the time. And they said, "No, maybe you ought to start it." So yeah.
Doug, you're it.
And he said, "But I tell you what, if you help Google land this deal with the San Jose airport, I'll come to your stupid meeting and talk at your stupid thing." And I said, "Okay, fine." And so I launched it, and we landed the deal with San Jose airport. And I said, "Eric, you're coming to talk." And so we ended up holding the first event at Samsung's offices. And so Samsung was there and Google was there. And we had a couple of book authors that were there and analysts, and like almost 200 people showed up. And he's like, "Wow, okay, this, this thing's on a roll." And so now, fast forward, we kind of created this system where all these different chapters around the world can be stood up. So there's local communities that have events. Then that parlayed into industry committees, so we could focus on industry verticals. And we have like 20 industry committees now. I think, there's easily over 1,000 companies now that have been members of the VRARA Association. And then that translates into like tens of thousands of people. And it's just this amazing community of
Right.
people that help each other. And you're like, we have social networks now, like LinkedIn, but this is a little different where,
Mm.
we try to bring people together face to face too, because it's like